Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to show you this dirty pour technique using our Leggari art kit. If you're interested in purchasing a Leggari art kit, check the description below.
Hey everyone, Tyler here again from Leggari. We're going to do a dirty pour using some earth tone colors. First things first, you want to make sure your boards are level, clean, and then we always like to do tape on the edges. That way we're not wasting resin. And also when you're doing dirty pours, you're using more resin. So we want to keep that design from moving a lot on the board. So creating a barrier to keep it from flowing over and making the design kind of dissipate. Awesome technique. So make sure you tape your boards before. Tape them good, and then I push the tape underneath, so it kind of creates a lock with the board there. So we have some pigments we're gonna add a light cream in the bottom here, and then we're gonna start dumping our colors in kind of randomly. And I'm not gonna do them all. We're gonna just kind of switch them up, pour them in different spots. It's gonna look really cool. All right, so we have all our pigments in. We're not gonna mix it. That's the thing with the dirty pours. You wanna just pour stuff in, don't mix it together. And I'm gonna pour it out kind of randomly all over the board. And then depending on how much we got, and if it levels out, we'll leave it. We might have to tilt the board a little, but pretty cool. So again, we're just gonna start pouring this out randomly. Again, we don't wanna pour so much out on one side that it's way thicker on half the board. So the two options are to tilt it, to move the resin around. Obviously it's gonna self-level a lot. There's quite a bit of resin here. We used about 40, I think it was 42 ounces for, this is a 2x4 foot board. The other option, because if we start moving it with a squeegee or roller, it's gonna totally ruin the design. So we wanna either tip the board or use like a blow dryer to move the resin. So we'll just start kind of tipping this around a little bit. Again, we don't want to tip it so much in one way that it moves all the resin around. And when you're doing dirty pours, you want to make sure you're using more resin than you normally would. And this is why the tape is vital to have on those edges, because all this resin would just be running off. You'd be losing a lot of resin. All right, so now the whole board's coated, so now we want to just kind of tilt it a little bit each way, start evening out the thickness over the board. All right, so I'm happy with that. So if we didn't have tape on here, the majority of this resin would have flowed off, we would have lost it all. And if we got it to how we wanted it, without tape and we came back, the stuff would have moved so much from leveling out. So this tape is creating a dam, and this is gonna look just like this when we come back and it starts to set up. And then we can pull the tape, paintbrush our edges, and then we got an awesome looking earth tone dirty pour here. All right, so we're gonna pull the tape. It's really hot in the warehouse, so this might be set up a little more than we want, but we'll see what happens. So we'll pull the tape. Hopefully some of that falls down the edges and we can brush that in. And I remember I folded that tape under the bottom, so you wanna pull down. But now that it's set up, the top's not gonna move at all. And then we'll probably let this sit for maybe 5 minutes. And a lot of this will fall down the edges, and then we'll just brush our edges in and be done. So we'll let this sit for a little bit. You can tell already some is gonna start flowing down here. It's obviously really sticky now. You wanna kind of pull it at the right time. If you wind up waiting too late and it gets too sticky to do your edges, you can always pick a spray paint color that's similar to what's on the top and just spray paint that edge, and no one will ever be able to tell that it wasn't coated.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're interested in purchasing a Leggari art kit, check the description below and that link will take you where you need to go. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel, click that bell button so you don't miss any of our projects coming up. We'll see you next time.